Hey creative friends, welcome to Tracy Bautista Color. I just thought I'd share really quickly a little behind the scenes peek at my latest paint and swatch workshop. So for those who are part of the VIP Collectors Club subscription for 2022, and also for the watercolor pan or swatch tile subscriptions. Or if you purchase the LANIKAI collection, this is what you got access to. I usually do about an hour workshop. This time it ended up being 2 hours because I hadn't been online in so long and had lots to catch up on, but we had so much fun. I'm going to just show a little peek at what I created. So the LANIKAI collection launched in the late summer, early fall of 2021. And I have just some of the products here. A couple of the LANIKAI Waves inks, the Man-O-War, which is this beautiful blue, so pretty. And then I have some of the Sunrise, LANIKAI Sunrise over there, and then I just have some other paints. Those are some of my handcrafted artisan watercolor pans. So every quarter I create these beautiful, fun pans. Over here, just show you, give you a little tour, is one of my larger ceramic tiles. So this is all handcrafted, handmade watercolors that I just let dry on the palette there, and I use those whenever I want to work with them. And so I shared a bunch of techniques in this workshop using pans, my watercolor pans. I love using these little ceramic dishes to either drop ink in and to mix the paints. So it's a great way, if you have watercolor pans like mine that I've designed. These are some of my older watercolor pans. I throw them in one of these little ceramic dishes, and it's awesome just to be able to mix color in there. And then we swatched out a bunch of the colors on the tile. So underneath my surface here, I have a marble slab, and then I have space to work. So I used the marble slab as a palette, so you can see right there, that's some of the color mixing I did with the collection. And then we started with, I showed how I create these paint swatches. This has a mixture of the watercolors in it, and you can kind of see it's really pretty. I think I put a mixture of 3 of the watercolors, and that might have had one of the inks. This is the Man-O-War ink, so you can see right there. In the bottle, you can't tell. Unless you look at the bottom, there is a little sparkle, a little mica, but it's this beautiful, deep, really rich blue, and it's got this hint of like a electric violet, very much like the Man-O-War you see on the beach in LANIKAI. And then I showed a little bit about all of the different products that came with this particular collection. So there were reactive crystals, which I have in different kinds of packaging now. They look like this, and you sprinkle them into the watercolor or in water, or you spray water on top of them, and they add just a little bit of interest and texture to your paintings. You scrape everything off when it's dry, and then you get some really cool color variations. So I talked a little bit about the paintable swatch cards. In every order, you get a set of paintable swatch cards. I showed some of my favorite brushes and started painting a few different paintings besides the swatches. So this is some of the work I love doing with wet on wet techniques, and this is not finished at all. This is just kind of the first layers, but I showed how to paint that and showed the different brushes that I use to create these kinds of marks. I talked a little bit about some of the orders came with pigments, and I mixed it with Collage Page right there, my glue, and it makes a a really beautiful matte kind of textured paint, and then painted with a pipette and another brush. So just showing kind of the versatility of all the fun things that come in the kits. I usually put a lot of extra goodies. One of my favorite tools is the pipette, so I talked about that and some of the tools that came with it. And like I said, every order is a little slightly different. Here's another swatch of the LANIKAI inks. And then I showed a little bit of lettering, how you can create letters with various tools. I don't see the tool here now. Oh, here it is. These also come as little bonuses in all of my orders, where you get fun little mark making tools. And then last but not least, I showed some of my swatch stamps. So this is one of the swatch stamps in the Tracy Bautista Paint and Swatch stamp set. And if you haven't seen those yet, let's see, I should put them here to kind of see each. There's I think 14 different stamps, and you can create a whole bunch of paint swatching with them. They're a lot of fun. These I actually did with watercolor. So instead of stamping, I stamped with my watercolors and inks. And so I talked a little bit about how to do that and how to use them as not only a palette, but also as mark making. There goes Indy again. And then just a little bit of the swatching. So every workshop, I like to just show a little bit about how the paints work together and all the different things you can do. And you notice I work on a bunch of different papers. So in this workshop, I also share some of my favorites, and you'll find a list here in the content hub of all the supplies that I used. So you can go out and find them if you'd like. So I shared, again, some of my favorite brushes and lots of paint swatches. So if you look down there, there are a bunch of swatches. So I just thought I would share a little behind the scenes peek at the studio after the live stream workshop. So I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming workshop. If you're part of the subscription, or if you purchase one of my quarterly collections, you always get access to one of these paint swatch workshops, which are filled with lots of fun techniques. Grab your paints, inks, and tools, and I hope you spend time and do a little work in your art journal. Take care. I'll see you next time.